Hey Force fans, Shane here. This is your weekly video for the channel, Force Fan. You can also find me over at Instagram if you wish, at ForceFan79. I thought today I was going to do a little bit of a different kind of video, more of a rewind, a little bit about me as a collector. So my name's Shane, I'm 46 years of age, I'm a Welshman, I'm bald. I'm also a huge Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars. I love The Empire Strikes Back. That is my absolute favourite movie of all time. I've probably seen it around about 200, 300 times, something like that. I started this channel just over a week ago because I wanted to talk about my love of the Black series, but I also appreciate other lines as well, such as TVC. I like the retro line, but Black series is where I gravitate really. So on this video today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why a standard tree in my garden means so much to me. It's quite a random thing, I know. I appreciate that. Basically, let me show you the tree, and then I'll talk to you a little bit about why I'm doing this particular video. Bear with me one moment and I'll take you across to the tree itself. So here we are, this lovely tree. I think it's maybe a cherry blossom. I don't really know my trees in all fairness, but the purpose of this video is basically to tell you about why it means so much to me and why it links into my toy collecting. Basically, I used to play here when I was a kid, before all the fancy stones and the lights and everything. There used to be a patch of mud here, and this was my battleground. It was my battleground for the Kenner Star Wars figures, battleground for Transformers, G.I. Joe. It was also a place where I had my imagination fulfilled. I just let my mind go wild as I played here. But as I moved up with the figures, I used to tie like string around these branches, and I would make zip lines. I would make zip lines to other trees, and I would swing my figures across, and it was just amazing, just absolutely amazing. I've never wanted to get rid of this tree at all. But it just goes to show the power of imagination when you're a child, and the joy that playing with figures actually gives you. It's something that modern technology, tablets, iPads, that kind of thing, for children now, they should be back out here. They should be playing in their gardens. They should be playing with toys. They should be having skirmishes and battles, using the basic stuff like, stones and rocks, and just using this as a battleground and just an area of pure joy and imagination. But this tree, it's just been a staple in my life. Every time I come here and I look at this tree, it evokes warm feelings in me, because this particular area was my childhood. I would have my indoor battles here, or when it snowed in the winter, I would get an AT-AT out. I would get my Hoth soldiers out. I'd have a Wampa just going across what would be the snowy tundras. I would have, when it was raining and the mud was wet, I would get like a cardboard box or something, and I would make it as Yoda's hut, you know, pretend it was Dagobah, so it'd have like an X-Wing flying in here. You know, you just can't capture that feeling when everything is pixelated or sprites or a video game. You know, I think it's important that children play with toys, you know, from a young age, and they just let wild in their gardens, just doing amazing things, basically, you know, letting their imaginations run wild. And I could spend hours out here. So that was the tree in my childhood home. So basically, my point is with this video is that when you have children, you know, I've got two children who are 12 and 14. I kind of instilled in them up to a point, you know, the pure joy of just playing with figures and vehicles, you know, in a natural environment such as a garden. You know, like I did when I was a kid. I used to have like a sand pit as well, which was always my Tatooine. I would play with my little Jawas and C-3PO and R2-D2, you know, and I would use like an old coffee tin or something as the little I can't even remember the name of the thing now that come from the Tantive, the pod, basically. I would have that crash landing into the Saturn pit, and that was where the game started with me. But I do relent really against the fact that a lot of children these days, you know, they're growing up with tablets and video games, and there's nothing wrong with those. They are cool, but for me, it's the physicality of playing with something tangible, physical. You know, it doesn't matter what kind of game you play. It doesn't matter if you mix different lines of figures. You know, when I was a kid, I would have the big Thundercat figures against like little G.I. Joes, the O-rings, you know. But for me, it was like they were battling giants and stuff. And my little boy, you know, when he was about 6 or 5 or 6, he would come to his grandparents' garden here, and he would play in the exact same spot I played when I grew up here. I love it, man. I love toys. I love the pure joy that playing with figures can actually give you. And I guess that's why I collect the Black Series now, and I have done since 2013. Okay, I don't so much as bring them out in the garden and play with them. Maybe I should actually, you know. Who cares, you know, I'm young at heart. But I do like the fact that I can buy 6-inch representations of figures now that I played with as a kid. Unfortunately, all of my Kenner toys I no longer have. We had a house fire back when I was a kid, unfortunately. Only a small one, but it happened in our garage, and I lost a lot of my Kenner figures. That was a hard time, and this is why I so want Lobot in the Black Series line. It's not just for me to fill out a scene for The Empire Strikes Back. It's because Lobot, that particular Kenner figure, was actually one of my favourites as a kid. I took him everywhere. And it would be like a holy grail of mine to own a Lobot now in Black Series 6-inch. You know, I'm tempted to even buy the TVC Lobot just so I've got that figure again. You know, maybe I'll even go as far as tracking down an original Kenner Lobot at some point. But the danger for me, if I'm completely honest with you, is that if I start buying a Kenner figure from back in the day, I'm not going to want to stop. And I don't have an awful lot of space at the moment, or the money. So I've got to be very, very selective with what I buy now, in all fairness. And I will be doing a video at some point, a long form video, just talking about my overall wants and wishes again for the Black Series, what figures I would like to have in my collection now, because it's not, for me, it's not about filling scenes all the time. It goes deeper than that for me. It goes back to just having another connection to my childhood when I was like 5 or 6, you know, just owning those figures. I'm not getting any younger, you know. I love collecting, I love talking about toys, and I just want those figures, really. So I hope you've enjoyed this kind of different type of video. I just want to put out an apology actually as well, that I recently did the mystery box video, and stupidly I gave away what was in the box in the thumbnail, so I kind of ruined the video. I have gone back and changed it now, thankfully, so hopefully that will still be a surprise for people. But yeah, if you do like the channel, and I really hope you do, I'd like to see this particular channel take off. There are channels out there with higher production values, you know, and where they go further and further into the intricacies of figures and stuff like that. I will do that, but I'm not gonna lie, I will do it in the form of me holding the figure. I will have it close to the camera. I will go through the various points of articulation. I'm not in a position at the moment where I can afford fancy equipment. My editing skills are limited, but I'm growing, I'm learning. I'm just doing this as to be part of the community. You know, if you like my videos, if you like myself, if you like what I discuss, then please give me a like, subscribe. I'm over on Instagram as well at ForceFanWales, so if you want to go over there, I will be posting stuff there as well. But this is all new to me, but I really do sincerely thank you so far for the subscriptions and for the likes and the comments, and I will continue to do wild and wacky Black Series videos, you know, and have nice chill chats like this about the passions that we love. But once again, I thank you very much, and may the force be with you.